And there it is, the final whistle, and they're out. It's all over. Oh, it's a sad moment, this. Who would want to be a football manager?
Managers can only watch and wait and hope. Come on, Kingsay!
Stephen, go and get the ball!
This is almost fantasy football. Let's look up the next thing.
Welcome to Fantasy Football League. Sorry about all the mess, but we've been celebrating for 2 days. Tato, wake up, wake up. When did Bolton last qualify for the 5th round of the FA Cup?
Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right. This week we'll be giving you the cup results. Wake up.
Give it to Campbell again, go on. Sorry, we'll be meeting guest managers Roddy, Doyle, Richard Littlejohn and Basil Brosh.
We'll be recreating the moment when time stopped in the Argentinian World Cup.
Whew, and we'll be saying a big hello to Alan Birchinall.
Hello there, I'm Alan Birchinall.
Alan Birchinall, whose best mate is the bloke out of Shawaddy.
Always worth knowing, I think. Anyway, some things we noticed from watching football this week. Everyone was very happy to see Francis Lee wearing the City colours at Main Road this weekend. He hasn't changed a bit, has he, old friend?
He looks great on it. And Villa versus Leeds was a great game, wasn't it? Ron Atkinson obviously thought so when he moved from the dugout to get a better view. There he is.
He always sits there.
He always sits there.
Apparently Dave Bassett sits in a shed 3 miles from the ground. Not a bad position, really, I would have thought.
Even Ron's own players clearly didn't want him to have to see how bad the match was.
And Justin Fashanu was in the news this week. Lovely trophy he's got there. No doubt later on he'll be sticking it in the cabinet. What? I've split the audience in two now. A strange mixture of boos and applause. I didn't get it, personally. Carry on.
And in Italy, referees complain that the studs on modern football boots are dangerous.
And David Seaman got a bit of a headache at Highbury this week. As you probably guess, there's no joke on that one. We just wanted to show the goal.
Yeah, well done all the underdogs this week for knocking out Newcastle and Blackburn and Leeds, but mainly Arsenal.
Yeah, mate. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So, sorry again about all the mess. Our guest managers stayed overnight this week, so at least we don't have to worry for once about them coming to the door in the middle of an exciting bit of football on the telly. Mother, you've missed a bit over there, just behind Ken.
Wish you wouldn't talk to it like that, you know. And now the latest Fantasy League news, it's over to Stato.
Yes, I've been working on a video roundup of all the best action of the week. Only 2 clean sheets in the Premiership mean minus points all round, but a glut of goals help balance things out. Roy Hattersley stays top, but the gap narrows with Karren Brady moving right into contention. 2 goals from Chelsea's Mark Stein helped Karren to be manager of the week. 15 points leaves her just 2 behind Roy. Frantic transfer activity led to a big improvement from Lennox Lewis. A goal from Spurs newcomer Ronnie Rosenthal earned the Lewis camp's 2nd highest score of the week, but surely this sublime assist from Lennox Lewis's midfield player David Roadcastle was worth double points. It's healthy mid-table status for Frank after 2 fabulous goals from his midfield. First, Ryan Giggs weaving best-like through the QPR defence, and then Blackburn's Jason Wilcox belting the ball past Hans Sager. Oh dear, this week's guest Roddy Doyle sinks into the bottom three, with minus points conceded by the likes of Grobbelaar and more unusually Gary Pallister. Alas, team changes from assistant manager Pat Vanden Houw failed to stem the tide for Mandy Smith. Goals conceded by Ian Walker of Tottenham, amongst others, helped open up a daunting 17-point gap to nearest rival Peter Cook. But positions can change quickly, and so complacently for Lennox is not required. Andrew and Roddy are all locked in a typical relegation dogfight at the bottom.
Oh, excellent.
Well done, Stato. Good
blimey,
Lord.
excellent.
Very professional, that
I
was,
particularly
wasn't
liked an oh dear, this week's guest Roddy
That was
Doyle.
good,
That was
wasn't
very
it?
good.
Definite John Craven there. Anyway, shall we wake up the guest
Now,
manager?
hold on, now we've got the chance. Let's just see if there's any football on the telly.
Okay, then. Go on. Oh, no, you've got it!
Get out, mother! Go on! That's all my life! All my life you've been hoovering just as there's an exciting bit of football on the telly. How you go? I don't know.
You shouldn't talk to your mother like that, I don't
It really
think.
was my mother, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Just as it was David Pleat.
Anyway, let's wake up there. Hey, it's Roddy Doyle and Richard Littlejohn! Oh, what a party that was, eh? If you want to get rid of your jackets, I mean, and your sleeping bags, oh yeah, I'll shove them out the way for you. Good to look after the guests and all that.
Did you get a good night's kip on that sofa?
Nope.
No, well, fair enough. So, Roddy, I should say straight away that I beat you in the cup, in the Fantasy Cup.
Yeah,
last
wonderful
week.
result. Hold
Yeah.
on. -2, -6.
Yeah, that's really a great Fantasy League game.
The Battle of the
I'd love
Giants.
to hear
isn't it?
that here. I'd love to hear
Yeah.
that at 20 to 5 on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's marvellous to get -2 and then think you've won. Only Fantasy League can do that.
How did you do in the cup, Richard?
We went out to a minus side.
Easily
We got
done.
-2 as well.
Yeah,
Who beat you? Was it Andrew Ridgely?
you've taken it well. Yeah, basically what happened was only 4 people from our league got through. It was a bit like the real FA Cup in that all the big names lost, apart from the leader. It was Roy Hattersley stays in. And who else kept in? Only Karren Brady actually beat someone from another league.
I got
Yeah.
absolutely hammered, as predicted last week, I have to say.
So the cup was a bit of a waste of time.
And we probably won't mention it again, just pretend that it never happened. No, we won't, of course we will.
Well, I'm still in it.
You're still in it,
Yeah,
so I'll
so that's
definitely
all right.
pretend it never happened. Right then, guys.
Actually, talking about the cup, the real cup, Chelsea got through this week, and you're a Chelsea fan,
I am.
and so am I. So what do you think? First trophy for 23 years?
No, they'll be beaten by Oxford.
Yeah, of course they will. I just said it in an optimistic way.
Well, that was a classic Chelsea optimism.
Yeah.
Now we'll lose. How does a man from Dublin become a Chelsea supporter?
Because Irish football is appallingly bad.
Yeah, but Chelsea
There are degrees of badness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So who was that? Must have been you must have been a fan during the great late '60s, '70s.
I was, yeah. Yeah, it was a great time to be a Chelsea fan.
Well, that's
you
the thing, the
know,
trouble
the
with-
only time to be a Chelsea
Yeah, in fact, that's right.
But it was great, like, actually in the teen years, it was a great preparation for adult life, all the constant disappointment,
Yeah.
you know, and every little victory was a major triumph. It really, you know, it's exactly like life.
We've got a bit of classic Chelsea actually with a hero of yours, Charlie Cook, like in action. There's Charlie.
That was the high point of my life.
That
Literally,
particular
quite
moment.
literally, that moment there was the high point of
Oh
my
dear,
life.
that's rather sad.
But you,
It's actually very, very sad.
but you won the Booker Prize, didn't you?
Nothing, you know, nothing compared to that.
Really?
Yeah. When Osgood scored that goal, I ran out into the back garden, did a lap of honour. I had scored the goal, went in, my dad congratulated me, you know. You know, it wasn't the same. The Booker Prize was nothing compared to that.
So if
It
now,
would have been ridiculous if when you got the Booker Prize you'd gone and
Did a
run
lap
around
of
your
honour.
garden.
so if now you had the choice between winning the Booker Prize or Chelsea winning the FA Cup again, what would it be?
Oh, Chelsea to win the FA Cup.
Really?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that's very good of
I
you.
think you got more chance of getting another Booker Prize. In fact, I think I've got more chance of getting the Booker Prize probably.
The Nobel Peace Prize I'll win before they win the cup.
I must ask Richard, you brought this with you to the party on Wednesday night. What is it?
That is the Garincha's Dog Cup.
Grinch's Dogs are the name of your fantasy league team, I should point
Now,
out.
I'll tell you about this. This was in the 1962 World Cup finals in Chile. England playing Brazil. Brazil won 3-1. In the middle of the game, a dog runs on. Greavesy chases after it, catches the dog. It's the only thing he's got anywhere near all afternoon. Picks up the dog, he's carrying it off the pitch, it pisses down the front of his shirt. So amuses Garincha that at the end of the game, the dog is still wandering around in the stadium. Garincha adopts it, puts it under his arm, takes it back to Brazil.
I think he was going to say that Greavesy adopted it, put it under his nose, and it's been there ever since. So why the trophy then?
The point of this is a trophy which is awarded to a certain group of Tottenham supporters for funk beyond the call of duty in following Tottenham. You get extra points, a bit like a fantasy league really. If you go to a home game, you get 1 point. An away game, you get 2 points. If you go and see the youth team at Cheshunt on a Thursday, you get 5 points. And
you won it,
I've never won it, no.
You stole it then, or?
I like the idea of people are going to watch Tottenham to win that rather than to see Tottenham.
Well, I think that at the moment, this is about all we have got a chance of winning, to be perfectly honest.
Roddy, you've written, quite a lot of your books have got a sort of backdrop about football. I mean, the van in particular happens against the backdrop of the 1990 World Cup. Yeah. And there's a bit in it, which I remember, about Dunphy's, which is a reference to Eamon Dunphy, the Irish TV pundit. I wonder if you'd mind reading that.
Oh, look, there's a copy of it.
There's a copy of it.
A large and a Dunphy. What? Said Jimmy Senior. He looked down at the customer, a young fellow about young Jimmy's age, with his pals. A large and a Dunphy, he said again. He was grinning. What's a Dunphy? Jimmy Senior wanted to know. A sausage, said the young fellow. Sausage, large, Jimmy Senior called over his shoulder to Bimbo. He looked back at the young fellow. Are you going to explain this to me? He asked. Sausages are like pricks, right? Okay, fair enough. And Eamon Dunphy's a prick as well, said the young fellow.
Why does everybody dislike Eamon Dunphy so much?
Well, after we beat England 1-1, and then we were beaten by Egypt 0-all.
I don't remember that.
We were beaten by Egypt 0-all. Dreadful game. And
See, what I loved about that is when they line up for the national anthem at the beginning of the Egypt game. Do you remember that? The Egyptians, when they lined up, went dun, dun, dun. Sorry, carry on.
Well, it was to make a long story short, it was a clash of personalities between Jack Charlton, the Irish manager, and Eamon Dunphy. And whereas Jack Charlton has a personality, Dunphy doesn't.
Ooh.
Most of the country were up for Dunphy, you know. So I just didn't. I've no hostility against Dunphy myself, but I just wanted to capture the feeling of the time in Dublin.
So basically, well, that stuff about Dunphys and sausages and Eamon Dunphy is nothing to do with this.
What's Eamon Dunphy?
That's a genuine picture of him at Millwall.
I remember that when I was a kid, seeing that in a programme and thinking, no, it couldn't be. Could it? And I've never found out, so if you're watching, Eamon, sorry.
Richard, if we could ask you about the Sun have recently claimed Fantasy League as their own, haven't they, really? They've started their own Fantasy League game.
They've got a fantasy league, running. There's 400,000 people signed up for it.
Yeah. It's a different game, though, isn't it? It's not exactly the same rules.
Well, I think the difference between all the other fantasy games, the Telegraph are running one, aren't they? And I think the Mirror have finally caught up with it as well. Is that we...
I think they started before yours, didn't it? Never mind, sorry.
Funny old game, Fantasy League, isn't it? Unlike ours, I think in all of these you can have the same players so that everybody can pick David Seaman and Andy Cole. Whereas ours is almost more real, is you can't have the same player playing for two clubs.
But I was looking at the rules of the Suns game, and it's things like you get points if your player scores the best sort of rating in the Sun. So you have to buy the Sun to know whether you've got good points.
It's clever, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's 2 points for an assist, 2 for a goal, 5 for buying the Sun, 7 for voting. I think it's 7 for voting Conservative, and 10 for having big tits. I think. It's an incredible system, but I'm playing, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
They're coming on.
I think we've got a clip here of the Sun's dream team. Just joking, Richard. Just joking. I'm sorry, Richard. Just
why?
No. Actually, why? Good point. Are you in that one as well, or are you just in our one?
No, I'm just in this one, but my son, who is the assistant manager of this team,
Yeah.
has entered the Sun League, and let's hope he does better for us in the Sun League than he's been doing in this one recently.
William is in the audience. William
Littlejohn.
Now, as I remember, William, at the auction, you seemed to be picking most of the team, and old Richard, he hadn't got a clue. He wanted to buy Alan Gilzine at one time.
Couldn't do it without me, no way.
Sorry?
Couldn't do it without me.
Not
No,
at
of
all.
course not.
What's the difference between the team that you've got in the Sun League and the team that you picked for your dad?
It's better, my one.
Right.
Fair enough.
What can he say?
We've got, actually, interestingly, Roddy, I think we've got a breakdown of your team's performance, and I think the problem seems to be lack of goals up front. You see, so far, you've only scored 2 goals
Yeah.
since it started.
And I was actually a full back, scored one of them. Yeah.
Who was that?
Julian Dix.
All right.
And
So-
I think Brian Dean has got an assist for you, and that's
One
it
assist
so
yeah,
far.
so far.
And we actually had a look at Brian Dean's statistics, because he looked like a good boy, I think, when you got him. You see, last season, playing for Sheffield United, he ended up with 71 Fantasy League points,
Yep.
which in 41 games is incredible going by Fantasy League standards.
Breathtaking.
And then before our league started this season, he'd still got 34 points.
Yeah.
So it's looking,
I
it's
can
all
read
looking
that.
brilliant for
Yes.
Brian Dean. And then you bought him, I think.
And I paid £5 million for him.
And you've got Grobbelaar in goal,
Grobbelaar
which is
you've
always
Yeah,
a
my
safe
favourite African.
bet. We love it. He's a character.
He is, he's a
Oh,
lovely lad.
Brucey.
People always say that he's a character. We've got a shot of Bruce here at his lovable best.
Guess who's got McManaman? I was abroad on Saturday. William was managing. I was listening to World Service, the crackly thing. They've got the Norwich-Liverpool game on. Gets right to the end. McManaman is through. Clear on goal. I'm going, yes, 3 points. Gun handled outside the area. Do you remember?
Yeah.
He gets sent off. That's no consolation. I have lost 3 points. You bastards.
I've got a breakdown of Richard's team, because it is... See, you've sort of done it everywhere, Richard. You've got 6 goals, 7 assists, 7 clean sheets. You are Mr. Consistency.
So they say.
So you've got Beardsley as well, and Beardsley obviously a great player. We got a clip of him, I think, somewhere. This is him against QPR.
Brilliant guy.
Great play. Since Beardsley's been playing with Andy Cole, I think he's come into his own. Because at Newcastle now, the chant is Andy Cole, he gets the ball, he scores a goal.
Excuse me,
And-
can I just
yeah,
get
sure.
the rubbish out?
Although when he came to Chelsea, the Chelsea fans very cleverly chatted, Andy Cole, he gets the ball, he does sod all, I remember. Well, I didn't say sod, actually. But, I mean, we've had a lot of requests, actually. We've had a lot of letters asking to hear football chants sung on the show. But I think to do that, what we really need is a professional singer, you know, preferably one who's known for having a sing-along style. Oh, it's what we need. Oh, blimey, it's Max Bygrave.
Ah, bless you. Now here's the one that you'll all remember. We'll see you all outside. We'll see you all outside. We'll see you all. We'll see you all outside. I'm singing. My old man said, be an Arsenal fan. I said, and the opposition are Liverpudlians. What's it like to have no job? What's it like to have no job? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hey, 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 Luther Blissett. Everybody, no, 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 no. Come on, sing. No, no, no. And you. Hey, 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 Luther Blissett. Keep it going. No, no, no.
What happened to Max Bygrave's forehead there? I don't know. So, are there any chants at Spurs that you're particularly fond of, Richard?
Well, I still think back to the wonderful day when Peter Shilton came keeping goal for Forest after he'd been caught in a compromising position in his Jaguar.
Yes, I don't know if we can mention these things, but carry on.
And he was greeted with that wonderful chant of Peter Shilton, does your missus know you're here? which spread right around the ground in about 30 seconds.
Have I missed something?
Yeah, Max Bygrave's just turned up.
Rick, I just nearly fell over a squirrel in the alley there, frightened me to death. Go on, hold it. Ah, yeah. Daisy, Daisy, give me your hands. I haven't got time for a sing-song now, really. No, thanks very much. That's Brian Clough.
Has anyone, are there any Irish, Charles? Oh, hello.
What's that noise?
What terrible, what? Ladies, it's Basil Brush, ladies and gentlemen!
Fantastic!
First appearance on the BBC for 13 years.
14 years, do
14
you mind?
years, I'm sorry, Basil.
Can I tell a poem?
Yeah. if
Right.
you want.
His wife has a musical nature. She can noodle and whistle and hum. She goes out as fiddle as a fiddle and comes home as tight as a drum.
Basil Brush!
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
Stato, Basil.
Chato, Mr. Chato. What a funny name.
What's happening?
They're getting on like a house on fire.
So, Basil, you've been interested in football all your life?
Oh, yes, since I was a little kid, little cub, really. Yes,
Yeah.
my team has done very well, really. Very well.
And I understand you used to like Billy Wright when you were
Oh, that's right, I did. And there's a joke about Billy Wright. What
Is there?
about Billy Wright? What a cheer he got when he came on. Caw! He forgot to put his shorts on.
I can't breathe. I think we've got a clip of Billy Wright in
Yes,
action.
go on then. Oh, there he
This
is.
is a match refereed by the biggest schoolboy of all time.
What is it that the men do standing up, ladies do sitting down, and dogs on 3 legs? Shake hands.
Blimey, all 14 years material coming out in one go. So, Basil, your team. Let's have a look at your team.
Well, I've got Lido.
Lido and Lido McCloskey in goal. Mr. Ludo.
Raw Fox, of course, as someone pointed out in the
And
audience there.
who else, Mr.
Tony Adams is your best defender.
Oh, yes.
He's got 11 points for you.
Yes, marvellous. And Chris
No
Bottom.
need to speak to him like that, just because he's a fox. Well, oh,
I'll get it.
sorry, that's too many people turning up here tonight.
Busy, innit, tonight? Oh, hello. Right. It's that Italian bloke who was at the party last night. Said no, he said he's left his shirt.
Oh, well,
there.
let him in, let him in.
Shall I get him in?
Yeah, let him in.
Come in, mate. You got his shirt? You step out and I'll
Just get the shirt out.
Not easy, is it?
You all right? Dear.
There you go, thanks.
He's a strange bod, isn't
He is.
he? Chow.
He's changed a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's put on a bit of weight.
Yeah. Apparently he's playing for Celtic tomorrow. I don't know if that's right. You never know who's going to turn up next year. Goodness me.
Oh, he's fallen
shit.
over.
Shall I go and help?
And now, Phoenix from the Flames. This week, would it have mattered if it hadn't have gone in?
Just back.
All right, Clive, this isn't Port Call 1994, this is Argentina 1978. You're refereeing the World Cup game between Brazil and Sweden.
Well, first of all, I'm not satisfied with that. That's not the regulation size of the goal. I'm not having that. Look at it. That's not good enough. And look at that corner flag.
Oh.
That's too low. I'm not having it.
only
Again.
meant to
No, it's
suggest it,
not. I
Clive.
don't care what it
For
is.
goodness sake.
Hey, What? What do you think you're doing? That's a handball. Okay, I've just argued with you. I'm not having it. That's that. All right, and any more. Hey, you stay away. You keep far away. And next, get away. Any more of that, and you'll have the red card. All right, I'm not having it.
Frank, you be Nalino, who took the corner, right? And I'll be Zico, who headed it in. Now, as I say, I'm sorry, Mr. Thomas. I wonder, could you just tell us in your own words what happened?
Well, David, it's Puthcall and not Buenos Aires, thank God for that. It was, it's nearly times, injury time now, and I'm standing waiting for this corner to be taken. The Brazilian takes quite a time to take the corner. I'm speaking to the Swedish goalkeeper. The goalkeeper says, how long to go? And I said, well, it's just times. Incidentally, this is the watch as well.
That's the actual watch.
And that's the whistle.
Could they snatch it right at the death?
Hold on, I don't look very Brazilian, do I? Should do it.
Oh, Nalino, will you get on with it?
Calm down, Zico. You're too hyperactive, you are. You want to switch to decaffeinated, mate?
It's almost time!
All right, hold on a minute.
Will you get on with it?
Hold on, I've been meaning to finish this for ages. I don't know what you're making such a fuss about. You know, referees never blow the whistle until the ball's in mid-air over the halfway line.
Play Barry Davis.
We make it time now, but it's what Clive Thomas makes it that counts. Ronaldo right up on the line in front of Hellstrom. Oh, that's swerving viciously, and it's turned in! Magnificent goal! No, the referee, he hasn't given it. He has not given the goal. He has not given the goal. Zico flung himself at it. The ball came off his head and into the corner, but Clive Thomas he has not given the goal. The score stays at 1-1. The Brazilians find it total disbelief.
Well, Clive, it was a very controversial decision. You've taken a lot of stick for it over the years, but now is your chance on national television to defend that decision.
That's great. Giving me the first opportunity to explain.
Hold it.
Yeah?
4 o'clock. Finish at 4
yeah,
o'clock.
but hold on, I was going to tell you. Hey, give me a chance.
Sorry about that.
Hey, hold on. Look, FIFA regulations quite simply state that the referee-
It's a more mail. More mail. A lot. We've been having quite a lot of mail, actually. I had a letter from Gary Bailey of Ward End in Birmingham, and it said, Dear Frank, I know you are a West Brom fan, but all my family support Port Vale. My dad always says that when West Brom played Vale in the 1954 Cup semi-final, the penalty that won the game for West Brom wasn't a penalty at all, because the foul was well outside the area. Can you please show a clip of this incident? No.
And we've got a letter here from Joanne Conley. It says, Dear David, does not address to you for some reason.
Nice. Why not like that?
Alan Hansen is always going on about players being properly positioned at corners. Could you show us a clip that explains this concept? Well, he's certainly being properly positioned there.
Let's do that again.
Let's have a closer look at that.
Is this properly positioned or proposition?
It's a very odd thing, that, isn't it? Valderrama just doesn't seem bothered about it.
Go on.
Do it again, mate. Get your hands right in there.
Can you get that bit round the side? Oh, that's good.
So, it's been great. Thanks very much for coming. Thank you very much, Roddy. Thank you very much, Richard. Basil.
Cheers, Basil.
Next week's guest managers will be Peter Cook and Andrew Ridgely.
So, thanks very much and good night.
Night.
And fantasy football is at 11:55 next week.
if you want to write to us, or if you